Let me see. I got patches for days, y'all. Patches for days. What is going on, YouTube? This is your host, Chris. This video is brought to you by PATCHBOYDARB, patches for the culture. If you need some patches, head over to PATCHBOYDARB.com and pick up some exclusive merch. In today's video, we will be using the Brother SE625 to sew some Velcro onto a patch. And the patch that we are going to be sewing, brought to you by PATCHBOYDARB, patches for the culture again. We're going to be doing the big worm. So, in order to add Velcro onto this patch, first thing we got to do is we got to convert our embroidery machine into the sewing configuration. And the best way to convert your embroidery machine to the sewing configuration is to turn it off, unplug the power cord, move it out the way, then bring up another Brother SE625 already set up for sewing. That is by far the fastest way to change from embroidery to sewing. What we need to do, we need to go ahead and remove our complimentary patch from PATCHBOYDARB. Let's go ahead and put this off to the side. So what we need to do is we need to measure how big our Velcro needs to be. Just take your patch, take your Velcro, see how much it extends. Use your finger to do a real rough guidance. And that's how much Velcro we need. So we're going to need 2 strips, one for the top, one for the bottom, because this Velcro doesn't fill up the full length of the patch. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cut. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my big worm patch. I'm going to take my hook and loop, both pieces. I'm going to go ahead and pin it to the back so it stays in place. So when I'm stitching, it doesn't move around on me. So let me do that real quick. I got my handy dandy clips. Let me go ahead and use these. So what I'm going to go ahead and do as far as stitching for this big worm patch is I'm going to go ahead and use a zigzag stitch. So let me go ahead and change my options. I'm going to do 1-09. If y'all can see that right there, go ahead and touch that. I'm going to do a zigzag stitch along the entire edging of this patch. So I'm going to start from one end and just work my way around the entire patch until the hook and loop is down on the patch. So with this, the way you want to do it is you want to have a stitch go off the material and then onto the material. And you're going to do that zigzag all the way around the patch. So let me make sure that it's going to go off the material and then onto the material. Let me get that looks a little weird. And onto the material. Boom, perfect. So that looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and work my way around the entire patch. I'm gonna go ahead and take my speed up a little bit. Take your time around the corners because you want to get around, you want to stop right on the pivot of a corner, and then you want to lift your foot a little bit and then pivot it, put it back down, and then keep going. You might have to give it a little guidance because the feed dogs might not pull it all the way properly. I'm going to go ahead and take off my first little clip, make sure everything's lined up, and then continue. Go ahead and stop it on the corner. I'm going to do another pivot, like so. Let me make sure everything's going to hit right. I got to make some micro adjustments. Always feel free to make little micro adjustments as you're stitching. You do not need to continue stitching if you feel like it's going way too far off course. You can always stop, back the machine back up, take your seam ripper, undo some of those stitches that may have messed up, and then just redo it. We'll go ahead and take this clip off now, and let's go. Alright, I'm going to pivot again right there, but I'm going to remove my clip so my clip doesn't get in the way. Let's finish pivoting around, put our foot lever down, Let's make sure it's going to stitch where we want it to stitch. And it's going to stitch where we want it to stitch. I should be able to remove this final clip, but I'm going to go ahead and wait till I get a little bit closer to it, just to be on the safe side. Let me stop inside the material, remove my clip, and now let's finish it on up. Pivot right there. Let's finish it on up. I'm kind of going over where I first began to give it that back stitch effect. I'm just keep on going. All right, so it should be done stitching. I'm going to go ahead and hit my scissor button to cut the threads. And I'm gonna go ahead and lift my foot lever. And I'm gonna get my big worm patch. And there we have it. There's some excess threads that I gotta cut. But my Velcro is on there, as you can see. Not the prettiest job I've done, but it'll do. It will stay, it will hold, it will not come undone. And if you want the patch, the Velcro to be a lot more sturdy, you can go ahead and go around the entire patch 2 to 3 times, and that thing will not go anywhere. All right, everybody, so there we have it. We have the big worm patch. We got the Velcro on it, as you can see. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what patch you might want to see me add Velcro onto. And remember that this video is brought to you by PATCHBOYDARB. Patches for the culture. Step your patch game up.